Alright guys, welcome back again to the channel. So today is the day that the Super Falcons of Nigeria will lock horns against South African women's team, and it's going to be winner takes all in this contest. Of course, is the semi-finals of the Women's Nations Cup, and as we would expect, there have been lots of excitement, lots of build-ups, lots of preparations leading up to this game from both camps. There've been a couple of talks as well, from uh, parties of both camps. For example, the coach of the South African women's team, who goes by the name Desiree Ellis, has earlier said that this game is going to be a fire of a game, and that she and her girls already knows what to expect. They've been in this situation before with Nigeria. They've played us. More recently, was the victory against the Super Falcons of Nigeria that came in 2022. It was actually a very uh, pivotal match in their history. Because obviously they went on to win the competition that year. But again, she still knows that it's going to be very difficult. But what she has said in her own words is that there's a fire, a collective memory, and we know what this match means. We know what it takes to beat Nigeria. Those are exact words when she was talking about this game, a few hours ago. So it's going to be very, very interesting match. And for the Super Falcons camp, uh, there have been talks from the captain herself, Rashida Ajibade, and all she's saying is that the team is going to give 100%, that they are going to give everything it takes for them to get to the finals, to put smiles on the faces of Nigerians who are supporting the girls back home. So that's just about it. Of course, a few hours from now, we are going to see the match. The stage set for the match. It's 5 p.m. today, and then it's going to be also interesting to see how Coach Justin Madugu and Desiree Ellis line up the players, in the official lineup for Super Falcons. I would expect, to see similar faces from the last game, because obviously the last game was very good. It was excellent. We beat our opponent 5 goals to 0 to get to this stage, and I think most of those guys that played in that game will eventually also start. The likes of Iezo, who's the leading goal scorer for the Nigerian women's team. She scored 3 goals so far this competition. Then the likes of Esther Okoronkwo, who is the assist leader for the team. She has really raked in a lot of assists, up to like 4 assists, and scored 1 goal for herself in just 4 matches so far. And another important, a record that the Super Falcons holds this campaign, or this women's nations cup, is the fact that they've not conceded a goal so far. From the group stages up to these quarterfinal stages, they've always kept clean sheets. So this is something else that would let the opponents, or would let anyone who's interested in knowing to understand how difficult it is to play against the Super Falcons, how tight their defense, have been, and of course, how much of a fight you need to bring to even score them 1 goal. Not to talk of even trying to win the game. So to score them is it's hard enough, to score them, and then you talk about winning them. But again, we know today's game is going to be entirely different, uh, because both teams are strong teams. But in a couple of minutes from now, of course, the formation is going to the lineup is going to come out, and I'll just post that. Probably post that on the community tab of this channel. But let's move on, guys, and talk about Chelle, who is currently in the camp of the Super Eagles Team B, where he is preparing them for the Nations Cup, home-based Nations Cup coming up next month, August the 2nd. And as I let you guys know before, they've been playing series of indoor friendly games, as a preparatory uh, test for this competition. And Right now, they still have a game. This game looks like it's going to be the hardest test so far. In terms of friendly games that have been lined up for them. They have a game on the 29th of this month, and then it's going to be against the strongest club, or the biggest club, or the most informed club in the Rwandan league, and their name is APRFC. So they have a game against Chance Super Eagles on the 29th, and it's going to be the last, possibly the last test before they go on and play in the competition on the 2nd of August. So it's going to be revealing a lot. If they are able to win this game, uh, it's going to show how ready and how much of a quality the team has, going into this competition. But there will be a lot to learn from it, whether they win or lose. Definitely, there will be a lot to learn from it, for Coach Shell. But let's shift a little bit away from that one, and let me let you know that Super Eagles eligible player Chukwuemeka Kane is now being considered as a surplus to requirement by Chelsea Football Club, and they now want to sell him on a permanent basis this time. Last season he went on loan and spent majority of that season at Dortmund, where he impressed reasonably, but although he had injury issues, so he wasn't as efficient as the club would have loved to see him be. But at the end of the day, the sporting director of the Bundesliga side said that they were really impressed with Daniel Chukwuemeka in the matches that he played. He also partook in their FIFA Club World Cup run. I think he scored one or two goals, created one or two assists here and there, which was obviously very loved by the owners of the club, and they at some point were even talking about the possibility of retaining him for one more season on a loan, because of the how good he played. But Chelsea are now saying that no, they are not interested in sending him on loan again. That if Dortmund likes him, they should buy him outrightly. That they don't want to send him out on loan again. So that's what it is right now for the midfielder. So for Dortmund, they are saying that his release clause is way too expensive, that they are not about to expend that amount on a player that they can't really trust. He has a lot of injury issues, injury history. He is, he's not exactly producing all the goals. I think his release clause is around 40 million or thereabout. So that is the only issue right now. But for the club's director of sports, who goes by the name Sebastian Kell, he said this about Chukwuemeka. I said that he has immense potential as a box-to-box midfielder, but we can't afford to spend that much money on him. Although we love him, we love the impression he has made at the club, but it's just a far cry for us right now to get him to sign on a permanent to get him on a permanent basis from Chelsea. But we'll see what happens. Of course, Chukwuemeka still is very much eligible to play for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. But the future holds that, of course, he's going to need to sort out his future, and then prove that he deserves to be called up by the coach of the Super Eagles.